Hello, it's Deborah from the attic, and today I'm going to show you how you can make a journal cover just using brown paper bags. I always collect brown paper bags. I save them if anything is mailed to me in these, and the bags that I'm using are from the kits that I've had from Simon Says Stamp. As you can see, I've lined up a couple of bags here. I'm using my ruler to rip down the edges because that gives it a really beautiful distressed edging. And this is also a really nice alternative to lace down the side of your journal pages. I've done this on some pages that I've been working on, and I'll show you that in just a moment as well. For the moment, I've worked out the size of journal cover that I need, and I'm just ripping away using my ruler as an edging to make sure that I get my size all ready. And I'm ripping up about 4 bags here. I'm also going to rip down the sides where the bags join, and that will give me a total of 8 sheets of brown paper. I mentioned that I had used some brown paper ripped down to edge some pages on a journal. Now, this is a journal that I've been working on most recently. This is from a printable kit which is available in my Etsy store now. It's called Timeless, and I'll provide a link below this video if you'd like to have a look at that. What I did, rather than add lace to the edging of my pages, is I experimented with brown paper bag, and I did exactly as you saw me do with the ruler, and I ripped the pages down or ripped the sheets down, and then I just glued them into my journal. It's a much cheaper option than lace, which I would usually have used, or ribbon, and I really liked the effect, and that's where the idea came from. The only question mark was whether or not brown paper would make a sturdy enough cover for a journal. Now, on its own, on one page, no, but if you layer up the sheets, then yes, it really does make a great sturdy cover. To work out what size of cover you need, take your journal pages, place them on top of your brown paper bag, and then use a pencil just to mark where you want to rip. I usually leave about 1/4 of an inch or just under 1 centimetre all around the edge of my journal. Then take a ruler and rip away. You don't need to do measurements. I'm going to glue 6 sheets together, and I'm going to use a Beacon 3-in-1 glue. The reason I'm using this glue is because it's particularly good on thin paper where you might risk seeing the glue line. When this glue dries, you won't see the glue line. Although I haven't tried it myself, you could also maybe do this with a Pritt stick. It might be that that would be very forgiving on thin paper as well. When you line up the sheets and you stick them on top of each other, don't do it too exactly. Part of the joy of using a paper bag is those lovely ripped edges. I'm going to keep going and layering up my glue and my sheets. The cover is starting to look nice and robust now, and after each couple of layers I've folded it in half just to make sure I maintain that crease in the centre of the cover. This is how it looks after 6 sheets have been glued together. I'm reserving a further 2 sheets, and I'll show you why I'm doing that in just a moment. But for now, we get to have some fun with doing the design on the front. I've cut down one of the sheets of paper from my digital kit, and I'm going to put the bird on the back page, and I'm going to put this really beautiful design with the clock and the flowers on the front. I've got some fabric in a couple of different designs. I've got a die cut that I've had in my stash for absolutely ages. I'm sorry I don't know the name of that frame, but any die cut that you have that will go around the outside would do. You don't need to use a die cut at all. It's just a way of me using up my stash, and that's what I quite like about this sort of junk journaling, is that there are no rules and it gives you a chance to use up things that maybe haven't seen the light of day for a little while. I'm going to have a little bit of fun and work out exactly where I want everything to go. I'm also going to add some words on the front of this to reflect the name of the kit, which is Timeless, and the words are part of the kit as well. You just cut them down and use them. I've completed my design on the back with some ribbon and some fabric, and I've very lightly glued these pieces in place. I say lightly because it's not the glue that's going to hold them there, it's going to be some sewing. So I'm going to take this away to my sewing machine. And off camera, I've added loads of rows of zigzag stitches and straight stitches. It's pretty random. I've kept them all going up and down, and it's easier to show you on the inside of the journal all of the stitching that's been done on that. Of course, if you don't have a sewing machine, it doesn't matter at all. You can stick everything down with glue. This is why I've reserved 2 sheets of paper. It's so that I can glue these over the top of my stitching, and it means that the inside cover will be smooth and clear of any lumps and bumps and threads. It also means that when your inside cover is complete, you've got another space where you can glue in a pocket or a pouch, and it just makes the whole thing look really beautiful when you open it up. You could, of course, add a layer of fabric on the inside as well. You could glue that in. I've done that on many journals in the past, and it's really nice to have a different texture. The journal cover is complete, and now all I need to do is sew in the signature, the single signature of the pages that I prepared earlier. In all of the full kits, I include a template, which is a really easy, simple way that shows you exactly where to position the holes and how to thread so that you get a really beautiful, smart, evenly spaced finish to your journal. I decided I would just go ahead and add a pocket to that inside cover. As I mentioned, I'm just going to drop some journaling cards in there. And there are some other elements I wanted to add to this just to finish it off. So I've got an envelope, this is all part of the kit, and the envelope will tuck into this file pocket. And on the inside cover, I've added another file pocket, and that completes the project. I hope that's given you some ideas for how you can use random rubbish lying around your house and turn it into something beautiful. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you want to make sure you get a notification every time there's a new video loaded up, just hit the bell beside the subscription button. Stay safe, and until we meet again, take care.